Benjamin Smith, Christine Stender, Ethan Kopich, Alex Stender, Sarah Carroll, Leon Starks, and Hector Sita. Is that
Perfect.
everybody? All right.
Yep.
Monarch, are you giving credit for this meeting? We'll come back to that. All right. Take it away, Ethan.
Okay. So I think the first thing we're doing on the agenda, Dark Shore wrap up. Uh, Leon, did you want to share or should I share?
I'm on my phone, so if you can share, that'd be great.
Perfect. 2 seconds.
Okay, I figured out how to unmute. I promise. Technology, how it goes. Yes, credit for the meeting.
Thank you. Hey, no. Reckless, Ryan. No. Stop
It always throws me off because Cinder and Alelia's dog is called Reckless, but that's also my husband's name. It's like, what did he do?
Okay.
Yeah, that was actually Riot, not Reckless.
She said Reckless. I heard it.
Maybe it was Reckless too.
Reckless, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. So what's happening is the wind is blowing outside, and there's a tree right out, and the shadow is casting on the front door window, and so they think something is happening.
Okay, perfect. We are now here. So, Dark Shore post-event review forum. This is the main thing that we are trying to confirm today of the event that has happened. Leon, feel free to take us away, and I can jump around to the other things within the Google Drive you shared me.
An extra brain cell.
Okay, so give me one second. I got to pull event review forum. I think we'll pull it up on I have the finances up. That one. There it is. Dark Shore happened May 28th to 31st at the Beledo Park Event Center. The event team was myself, Alelia, Theos, Herifor, Hector, Walrus, and Giddig. Total event attendance, we had 205 total event attendees, including some mundanes that were there for the wedding. Total sign-ins, we had 198 total sign-ins. Of that, 148 of them were full weekend. There were approximately 8 underage participants, and we had 10 passes given away for the Krat team and a couple of other few people for favors for the event. Gross profits was 11,220.
Can we jump into attendance real fast because this number isn't adding up to me? So 205, and then there was 198, 195 on the orc sign-ins. And then
there were some people that I think hadn't gotten their credits put in the other day. I'm not sure if Hector had gotten around to that or not.
Okay. And there's 198 here on the list.
I'm currently searching for about 4 people, 2 out of Wavehaven. I've made accounts for Gator and Atlas out of Ethereal Hollow and Saragita. And right now I'm just waiting for them to get back to me so we could get like an actual like formulative email for them.
Some of the mundanes, perhaps?
Yeah, there were I think 7 mundanes that were there for Bacchus and Firin.
Yeah, so that would explain the difference between 205 and 298. Because the 298 is people who had, amp card names who actually signed in here.
Yeah,
there's actually 197.
Yeah, like I said, there was some mundanes on site for Bacchus and Firin's wedding.
Yep. And then that makes sense. Hector, I'm still seeing that there's 2 Sebastians in here, so I'm so great. I went twice. That's 2 different names. So okay, so we're getting that cleaned up. The next part to me is 148 plus 9 plus 8 plus 10 is 175. So it feels like we're missing about 20, 25-ish breakdown of attendance participants that are AMP card players.
Yeah, I believe those were day trippers, and they were just it's really weird to read that that Walrus gave me that number, and I didn't go back and verify it. That's my fault. But yeah, I believe the rest of those are day trip participants for Saturday.
Oh, okay. So it was just this 9 should really say like 32 or
32.
something.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. That would make the math work. So thank you very much.
Okay. So the financials, we gross profits we pulled in $11,220. Our total expenses were $7,311.52, which gives us a net profit of $3,908.48.
Yay.
Um, for the event expenses, the biggest part is, of course, the venue. That is the same as what we had for FOG. The $107 is what was spent by the war team for the little barriers we had quickly erected when we realized that the castle was not safe to use. Food was $2,622.17. And Gate spent $367.35 on favors.
Okay. This math works out for me. Does anybody have any questions on the financial summary?
Not on the summary, but I know there was some talk about asking for a little bit of money back because of the double booking. Do we know, did that ever happen, or do we think that's worth looking
I
into?
don't think it's worth looking into because there's nothing we can actually do about the event center holding two events. And it's just
Fair
kind
enough.
of
Yeah. Yeah, we could
Would
in
you like
theory
me to
reserve
stick
the whole.
out
Sorry, continue.
said event center?
no, it's not really worth looking into, Hector.
Okay.
Yeah, because we could reserve the whole event site, and I know we looked into that a couple of years ago, and it's like $10,000 to $15,000 for us to do something like that. But because we're only spending the 4,000, they will double book us. It's a part of the how we were
Yeah,
able to get the site for a reasonable price. Yeah.
totally understandable. I just know there were some complaints about the noise and the parking situation. I think we made it work in the end. But I was just following up on kind of what I had heard, but no big deal.
I have a question about the record keeping. In so much as, is there somewhere a ledger that has every individual, the amount they paid, where all the money came from, or is it just this summary here?
So there
There is
is the financial sheet and a few other documents that were provided as part of this, Google Drive that kind of go into some of this information a little bit more. Oh, that's the ODS. It's the same thing, but um, and there's an entire list of all the sign-ins. It is not, as far as I've seen, Leon, there's not a breakdown of each sign-in and who paid what amount.
let me
This is the bid package. Up the game ideas.
You're
It's
right.
the
Walrus
bid.
has that information. I thought it had been on the sign-in sheet. I'll have to get that from him and get it into this drive folder for you all.
Yeah, because there's yeah, because I was trying to work through this financial sheet, and it roughly works out, but there was some confusion I was having. Maybe it was just I wasn't understanding about. There was like 135 early sign-ins, and then there was 9 day trippers, And then this number wasn't matching the 195 or 198 that was listed over here. And I was trying to figure out like where the math was disparate.
So all the early sign-ins were done through CIAM card.
Yeah.
And then everything else was done on site. Walrus kept the records as he was in charge of the gate team.
Yeah.
Like,
So
I know,
there
I
were
know I saw him
three.
handwriting the transactions.
Yeah. Because it's like here's the Fatalis VIPs, which there were three, then it lists 10 normal VIPs. So there's 13 people there, which is probably yep, so that takes that 135 to 148, which matches the full pass participants. Um there was no regulars because this is the day of, but we maintain the same price because of the Fatalis package. So then there's the 9 day trippers at 270, which we just said that's probably closer to actually 32 day trippers.
Yeah.
And then it's a 7,000 in revenue. And then this is the part where I get a little confused because it says, there's 7,000 here, but 6,000 plus 3,000 is more than 7,000. So I think it's just saying this is the price for just admissions, not counting VIP packages.
Yeah,
And
the
then
7,000. Yeah, that is just that math, and then the total revenue 11,220 is including the VIP packages.
so 11,002. Yeah, minus the 4,200. And then I'm so this cash box is
That is what we took in at the event.
Yeah, so that's a physical cash deposit that is currently in the West March box.
okay. So it's this over here equals 11,220. The way it was actually broken up is 9,800 of that was digitally received.
Yes.
1,350 of that was received in physical cash
Yes.
for a total of the 1120. So really this 1120, it's over here. So yeah, the part I guess is like if all of the early sign-ins were on say AMP card, I would have expected this early sign-in number. I don't see how to make these numbers work to match the 9,870. It's the part I'm confused by. And I think it's just an
Uh,
accounting error, but
what would the number be if we did the early plus the Fatalis plus prepaid day trippers?
6,750 plus 3,000 plus 1,200, 10,950.
Hmm.
So the totals work out. It's this breakdown of digital versus cash that doesn't make sense to me. In the end, everything equals 1,120. I have a feeling that what ended up happening is that a few of these people who are listed as early are actually regular admission at $50 who paid on site for the cash box.
Would it be worthwhile to table this and ask Walrus some of these questions so that we can get it all cleared up for next month's meeting?
Give me 1 second, actually. Let me see if I can just use.
Sorry, I'm late.
Okay, so what I'm seeing on CAM card is that we actually had 127 digital sign-ins. So somewhere around 127, 126. That is including the Fatalis and the VIPs. So I would have to go through and pull a full audit log, and that's going to take me more than a minute to do right here. I believe this whole discrepancy is just coming down from some of these people are in the early are actually paid in cash. But ultimately, these numbers do add up. It's just the breakdown of cash versus received digital. Hector, I guess my question is who counted out the cash box and who was the verifier? Was that Walrus and Hector?
Yes.
Yes, that was a split between me and Walrus. We have a sign sheet the day of. I have the physical cash here if you guys want me to redo a count with you. We could count chocolate if you want to.
No, I personally I'm okay. It sounds like there was two people they verified it, so I think we can assume the cash count is correct, and that therefore the delta, the received digital, is correct, and that the confusion is really coming from just the number of early people that there was actually some of this includes cash payments, and that's how this works out.
Oh, so like the math isn't mathing. So this audit form is going to be really short for the homies right now.
Yeah,
It's not that.
but yeah,
I understand what Sebastian's saying.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think
no,
I think it's
I
a
get it.
minor thing. Personally, it comes down to these numbers on the audit form still seem to be correct on the closeout form. It's just one of the internal numbers is a little bit different than we were expecting, but it's made up in a different number, so I think we're okay.
Valid.
So I'm personally okay with the financial summary the way it's written. Um, does anybody have a different disagreement on this?
Nope.
Yeah. Um, and then I'm going to keep on the financials real quick, Leon, before we move on to the event documentation. So just
Mhm.
so the rest of the board of directors is aware, there's the whole breakdown of expenses over here on the left-hand side. That's that $3,908 that we just talked about. What's actually being deposited into the West March General Fund is 3,500 because there is this is actually should be Darkshore.
Yeah,
Not Fog, but
I just reused the form from Fog.
yeah. But the Capora does allow the event staff to elect to keep $400 in the Darkshore account to basically cover interest expenses for next year's growth. And the remaining outstanding now, 3,500, goes into the West March General Fund. So, and again, this math seems to work out. So. Yeah. So for me, that closes out the financial section unless anybody else had any other questions on it. Cool. Okay, Leon, keep taking us away.
So the event evaluation is what comes up next. For us, the event did meet its primary goals. It actually exceeded them. The on-site maintenance did learn from our visit in October, and we were provided with a means of contact for the head of maintenance should the after hours not answer, like we had the issue at Fog on, I think it was Saturday. It was like Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
And the guy I called him like 30 something times. He just never answered. Fortunately, we did not need to contact maintenance this event. We had so many attendees that we were not planning for that feast ran short a few times. If this trend continues, we may want to look into additional space at the event center. The war team being able to adapt and adjust the battle game timing from outside feedback on site was a big success. The quest team adjusting location from day 1 to day 2 made the quest table easier to access. The feast team adjusting the number of folks coming through the feast line were not initially expected.
Yeah.
Was also seen as a success. Recommendation for future events is more pest control because it's always some kind of pest out there. We had bought fly and wasp traps for Dark Shore, and it only helped so much. we should see about potentially renting some of the other bathrooms on site. It seems like if we're going to have this many people on site to get what we do get with the rental is just seeming to be just a little bit on the lacking, but not uncomfortably so. Um, could maybe look into pricing for the other camps, the other smaller campground on that is closer to the feast hall. Because there is a smaller campground over there, but it's not something that would work for the entire kingdom. It could maybe be something that could be rented for like a VIP buff or something.
Yeah.
And then just looking into other additional rental spaces to separate quiet and loud campers. I didn't hear too much of a complaint about this event, but it was something that had come up at FOG.
Yeah. That's all good feedback. Okay, so then it looks like we kind of get down to the end of the document here, which is review notes from the West Marsh Board of Directors. So did we have any notes about this that we want to get officially recorded on the official record? Sounds like a resounding, we all accept. So was the information provided by the stewards acceptable and fully detailed, yes or no, our board of directors?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, with the caveat that it would have been nice to have the numbers cleared up a little bit more beforehand, but not egregious.
Okay. Okay. I am also yes on this one. So, sorry, I can't see the people when I'm in this view. Who else do we have in this chat?
I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was just saying that, sorry, I'm late. It's Athena.
Oh, there we go. Found the people. Okay, so we have myself, Atlantis, Athena,
Oh,
Ector,
yes, for
and
me.
Elf. Ector, you're good?
Yeah, yeah, I'm good on the information. They could have told me how pretty security was, but it's okay.
That is true. You didn't tell security how pretty they were. And Elf, are you okay
Yeah.
with this?
Yes.
Okay, so that sounds like a resounding yes for the board of directors here. Do we consider this event review final and closed? I say yes. Does anybody have any issues with it? Yeah, we're sounding good there. So I will get a DocuSign out for this. I'll have to download a copy of this. Get a DocuSign out and we can make it super official.
Okay, wording everyone on the board as voting to accept and voting to close. No abstentions, no negatives.
That is my understanding. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Leon, for pulling all of this together for us. It's been very helpful, and it sounds like we had a good, successful event, which is always nice.
Yeah, no worries. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Now I have to go find last month's meeting notes. Okay. We now get to the reading of the minutes from the last meeting. Here we go. We had in attendance at the previous meeting on May 13th, Ethan Koppich, Alejandro Delgado, Athena Velasco, Christine Stender, Jack Kiernan, Ben Smith, Tom Gamuth, Hector Seda, Sarah Carroll, and Alex Stendar. Monarch provided credits for the last meeting. We then read the previous meeting minutes of the previous meeting. If you care about that, go watch the recording. Old business. The seller's permit for the
Do you
kingdom.
want to put that
Question.
one on screen?
Oh, I am putting it on screen. I am not. I have to resume my screen. That helps. Okay, perfect. Old business. Seller from for the kingdom. Question from the last minute from the previous meeting was project check on the form individuals can fill out who was making the form. It was assigned to Milan previously. Milan is also still not here, so we may want to reassign this. We'll get to that in this meeting. Info needed was we need like legal name, phone, address, their contact info, date, location of the event. And then afterwards, we need receipts, taxes collected, items sold, their value. And then we would have to be responsible for sending the taxes to the state based upon the location, the county that it was sold in. Progress check on the seller's exemption information, no update. Elf took it upon themselves to check for next month, which is now this month. Taxes, progress status check on California taxes, they were done. Progress check on a tutorial on how to do the future treasure. Athena was working on it and was expecting to get it done last week, that weekend. New business, formalize the process to make insurance updates. So right now everything goes through me. But technically anybody on the board of directors could do this, but they would need to be added as policyholders and trained on how to do this. I do not recommend that we ask event runners to fill out the form because it's a bit special. It was suggested that we have at least 2 elected members trained and able to do this each year. I will note that this has actually gotten a lot easier. I haven't had as many insurance request forms in the last month. Process should be added to the board of directors onboarding handbook because the current process is message me, I fill out a change request form, I contact the insurance agency, pay any related fees, typically nothing, provide, and then they give us back a certificate about 48 hours later, and then we send that certificate and list of insurance to the event venue. And then so with the question, was to how to update insurance should be added to the board of directors handbook. It was assigned to Thomas to do. So next item was Voland had event insurance added to their insurance. We had to get some upped our policy from $1 million policy to a $2 million aggregate policy, which was about a $92 fee delta, and I paid that out of my pocket to help get it going. The event site for Darkshore Feast of Gods was added to our insurance. That did not require any additional fees. There was a question about a raffle at Darkshore. It wasn't really a raffle, so there was no concern. And then there was a fidelity updating rules for how to do charitable giving and how to go through the charitable giving process. And Athena had volunteered to work on a guide for that. A couple of walk-on businesses, handbook update. Elf volunteered to do that, and then we made them Monarch, so now they're very busy. And then it was also brought up as a reminder that we could write letters of recommendation for each other because this is a charitable business. So being on the board of directors here means that you are working for a nonprofit. So it's a very good way to do resume building. And then we scheduled this meeting and then we adjourned. Are there any questions on last month's meeting minutes? Nope. Perfect. Okay.
Hector said in chat to send him a request for the reimbursement.
Yeah, I would have to fill out a reimbursement form and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll have to get around to that. Okay, so on to item number 6, old business. Seller firm for the kingdom. So previously the person making the form was Milan. We gave him the information below of what's info is needed. Milan is very busy working in Oregon right now. So we may want to find a new individual to make this seller's permit. It's probably is going to look fairly similar to like the post-event review form or some of our request forms that we have up on our board of directors webpage. Do we have any volunteers for this? Remember, if you don't volunteer, it falls back to me.
I am behind on my own tasks right now, or I would.
We'll assign it to Thomas since they're not currently here. Sounds great. Okay, so it sounds like I need to make this form. I have the relevant info needed. I will add it to my list. Do we have any other comments on the progress check for who will do this? Okay. Next item on the agenda was progress check on the seller's exemption information.
Yes, so I got wonderful details from Theos, who obviously can't officially do it, but did point me in the right direction. So it is just a form that is available, and basically we each individual business that we would want to get the exemption from, we fill out the form, and he said different businesses are like Costco, we might send it directly to their like HR, or like corporate office, or some stores you can just take it in to the store themselves. But it is an individual form that we would need to fill out for the specific business that we want. It's not like one blanket thing, but it seems pretty straightforward. It's a very simple one-page form.
Okay. Do you happen to have that like form number or something like that?
I don't, but I can definitely get it from Theos at some point, and I can shoot it over to you, and we can maybe just put it on like a link to it on the BOD website, something like that.
I was just gonna record it here just so that way we had it for this. So okay. But it's not a big deal. We can grab that later.
Okay, I'll see if I can find it. But
Okay. Anybody have any questions about this reseller exemption form?
I think we're good.
Yeah. Okay. So the next one was taxes. Progress check on the tutorial for the future. So Athena, you sent this out at the end after last BOD meeting. Trying to
I
quickly.
did.
Here it was. Why? So page one is page one. Let me just quickly correct that.
Weird.
Yeah, page one is this. I'm assuming you got this in Google Doc.
Oh, yes, I didn't realize it would do that.
Yeah, if you have the headers and you tell it to give you a header review.
How annoying. Pardon me.
Organize. Nope. I want to delete page. Page current. What? I definitely have that feature. Okay. Apparently, I need to update my PDF reader because I should be able to do that. Yeah, sure. Great. Okay. It's amazing. Done. Okay. I'll figure that out. I definitely have the highest form of this PDF reader, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyways, so you made this lovely tutorial, which tells us exactly what buttons to press on the California official webpage to fill out the 199N e-postcard for filing California taxes, including
Sorry, I'm late.
California corporation number. Thomas has arrived. Perfect. We can assign them tasks.
Sorry, working still.
Yeah. And this goes through every single little thing. So I think it comes down to one of us needs to go put it on our wiki page.
I've never really used AmpWiki, but I keep getting prompted to.
oh my god, it's so fun! It's like when we used to make MySpace pages. Like you can make a whole page
Ooh.
that's just all about you. It's amazing.
Yep.
There's a whole
Yeah.
page that's just about Damos's beard. It's very
That's so funny.
Part of the circle of beards.
The circle of beards. Yeah, there's like 3 of them. It's amazing.
Yeah. So anybody can sign up. I'm sure Talon will talk our ear off if we let them talk about the word of But like as they were saying, you can make your own page. Here's mine. That's all of your fun stuff. You can put in your biography if you have any like role play stuff. You have your whole belted line. All of that information linked to your org. So it's a great way to do it. We have the one for the West March Board of Directors, which is just kind of where we dump a bunch of documents as well. So we have the BOD process documents, so we can put it in probably here, the West March tax submission form. Probably just gets added in here.
I just dropped the link to the reseller exemption form in the chat.
Ah, perfect. It's the General Certificate Resale Tax CT. I will throw that in this month's meeting notes real quick. Oh man, that is a lovely document number. Gotta love. Official government
Straight from
document.
Thea, so you know it's legit.
Perfect. Okay. Back to this. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so it just needs to get uploaded here, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, there's also a bunch of other fun stuff, in here about players' handbooks and waivers and event forms and how to do things. And my collection of every Kingdom Kapora as of 2023. So, yeah. So it sounds like the pending action, once I find my Word document, here it is upload to BOD wiki page, post on CIA card. So I can handle this.
Thank you.
Yeah. Once I figure out what's going on with my license key, that will take me 30 seconds to do. Okay, does anybody have any questions about the taxes and the tutorial for filing them for California? Nope. Okay, formalize the process to make insurance updates. Thomas, this is you. Thomas hopped in just to say hello and then abandoned us again. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I had you muted because I'm still working. I didn't want to bother you guys with my excess noise of work. What was my task?
You had wanted to put together a process on how to do our insurance update form that I've been doing.
Yes.
How's it going?
I have not finished.
Okay. Shall we say it's still in work?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns, reports you would like to say at this time?
No, I got it started and stuff. It's just that I have had so much going on. I haven't been able to finish or finalize it. Like I got my computer and everything all hooked up, started on the dock and everything, and then Founders Day and then Seattle.
Yep. Well, you
But I
understood
did start it.
Yeah. I mean, we pay you better than oh no, wait, we don't pay you at all to do this job. So okay. So I think we listed it as in work. Does anybody have anything else they would like to add to this topic?
I'm going to mute again. Sorry.
All good. Okay. Next topic is Fidelity updating the rules for charitable giving and how-to guide. Athena.
That's fine. This one's the older task, and this is the one I'm still working on. I do have the details for it now, but I'm just, it's, as far as I'm aware, it's making a Facebook post. And then I don't think we had intention of a guide to be uploaded, but we can.
Honestly, I think a lot of the guide is just going to the Federal Charitable Giving account guide, and then
Oh,
it's just saying, "Oh, also this is how you look for West March when you're on there."
right.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Hold on. Keep it on the website if you don't mind. Giving account hyphen guide. Okay.
I do think that's most of the guide.
Yep. Can do.
Yeah, so you can look up by West March or by our EIN.
Indeed.
So, no, Indeed is a different web page. This is
Ha
Fidelity.
ha.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions about updating the Fidelity rules for charitable giving and how-to guide?
Just because I was busy typing, I didn't catch all the details. You have most of the info, but what do you need to do now?
Make it legible and share it.
Okay. We'll say compile and share.
Yes, what offensive.
This is why I just take the notes during the meeting and throw them up on the screen so we can talk about them. And then Iolantha sends out the actual notes. Oh, okay. Back to you, El, for handbook updates, for the BOD handbook updates.
Awesome. So as I was kind of looking through it, most of it looks still pretty good. But I don't know if you maybe want to throw it up on your screen, so we
The link
can
I sent
talk
you
about.
earlier.
Yeah, the sections that I feel may need to be updated.
Okay.
Um,
Wow, this got when we transferred this out of the PDF, it got butchered. Okay.
it looks so
Reformat is one of
weird.
the options.
Yeah, reformat. So the when it talks about the annual fee of $70 for the post office box, that's as of December 2016. Does that need to be updated? Is that still what we pay?
No, we pay
And then
$150 now for iPostal.
okay, so 150, and then it lists
It might
Sir
actually be more.
Eric. Well, that was, I figured, since it's been 10 years, probably needs to be updated. And then it lists Sir Eric as the email on file with the post office. Can we just make it the West March email?
Yeah, so this is all completely out of date ever since we moved to the iPostal. So we do not have a US Post Office box anymore through
Okay.
this way. We
So
now
then
have the
all of like
iPostal
with
address.
the keys and all of that. Okay, so
There
basically
there are no keys, yeah.
perfect. So the whole I made a copy of the document that I can edit. So I basically am highlighting everything that needs to be changed. So everything about the keys can just be removed, and then we'll update the fee and email address to the West March email. I think the PayPal is still fine. Um, the tax information stuff. So then going to decisions and policies, the 2012 land audit rain day placeholders, is this still something that we do? I've never heard of this.
So we used to do land audits way back in the day. Um, and then for a period of time, people were like, well, we get rained out in the winter a lot, so we needed like an alternative way for them to still get credits to qualify for things. We stopped doing audits in 2019.
Yeah, so so basically everything from the rain day placeholders, the land audit advertising, and then pretty much all of the corpora sections will need to be updated because the corpora has been updated. Um,
Sorry, I was looking up the.
like this still has that the BOD does audits every 6 months, but all of this is out of date to the current corpora.
Yeah, now audits are at the discretion of the monarch.
Discretion of the monarch. Attendance has changed for what shires and baronies and such are. So
Yeah.
I was just gonna scrap that completely and re-upload the correct section. I don't even know if the BOD. It does say that the BOD can be asked to help with audits, so we can still include that part of the corpora in the handbook, just because it does mention the BOD. But all of this about audit requirements, sponsored chapters, I'll update all that from the current corpora. But then all the Roberts Rule stuff looks good. I don't think any of that has really changed.
We don't use it.
But then I'll just delete that too.
Yeah, the Robert's Rules of Orders is a whole parliamentary procedure that you can use, and you'll you'll probably see it. Well, you might see it this year at the Q3 vote for ACOM, because I know Smiley is
Yeah.
big on it. Uh, it is quite a lengthy document, and I find it's only really needed when you have a bunch of people arguing with each other, which so for the last few BODs I've been on, everybody's pretty nice to work with. So
Yeah, it's not really our vibe. Um, yeah, okay. Then it seems like for the most part, this document can be very much simplified. There's a lot of stuff in here that we don't do anymore or doesn't really apply anymore. Um, so yeah, unless there's anything that people feel like needs to be added, um, for how we currently do things, if there's anything, maybe about our nonprofit status or, something like that. But other than that, I think it's mostly just updating some dates on stuff and getting the current corpora relevant sections in here.
yeah, so I think we should add a section in here about our bylaws, because the
Okay.
bylaws are really more relevant to us than the corpora section. Um, and then there's a couple of parliamentary procedures about how we do the January transition. which is outlined in the bylaws, but most people don't fully sit down and read the bylaws. So it might be worth explicitly calling out how we do
Highlighting
that.
that.
And because I just did it, by the way, everybody, congratulations to Sarah for officially becoming our CEO. That's on file with the
Oh,
state of
thanks so much.
California. So the fact that we have to update our information on file with the state of California every time we change CEO, aka Kingdom Monarch, CFO, aka Kingdom Prime Minister, or the Board of Directors Secretary. We have to refile that every time we change.
Okay.
Which, by the way, we should be getting a letter about that because I paid $5 because we have to get a certified copy of that letter.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. I'll add it to the money Hector owes me.
Hey, we're drowning in all this Darkshore money now.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, what did we just say? Oh, nonprofit.
I owe Ethan money.
Money. That's okay. We're going to spend it all on whatever our new castle option is. Although I do think we still do some kind of fundraising option, not draw too much from the kingdom coffers, but it's nice to know we have the budget.
Well, and that's what I was pulling up. So specifically, just to quickly jump to budget. Actually, you know what? Let's jump back to that. Let's talk about Castle after this.
Okay, I mean, I'm good with those kind of notes on the handbook. I'm happy to work on it this month and bring a proposed new document to the meeting next month for approval.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, does anybody have any?
Pepper, you are sneaking all over me. Oh shit.
Does anybody have any questions about handbook updates or have any other requests they would like to make to Elf, who is graciously updating our handbook for us?
There was one thing you said to add that I missed that part. Our rules.
So it was the BOD bylaws specifically highlighting, the BOD bylaws specifically highlighting the January transition, and then items related to our nonprofit status, like having to file with California every time we change the CEO and CFO or secretary.
Yeah, that is the BizFile Online Secretary of State. Oh, sorry, I have to log into that real fast. Oh, come on. So this is a public accessible document where for the state Secretary of State, we have a statement of information is what it is. And we are required to file this every 2 years and every time we change, as I mentioned, the CEO, CFO, or secretary. Just tons of fun. And there's only a couple of us who currently have access to be able to do this filing, but if you go through this whole lovely form, filling out all this lovely information, and then not the agents. Yeah, there's a section in here specifically, sorry, about the officers. And because we do not allow the president of the board to be the CEO and the treasurer to be the CFO, we have to go in and file this stuff. So tons of fun. This is now publicly available for anybody to go look up. And we have to change that every 6 months or so. Actually, every 3 months, depending on how often we have monarch and prime ministers change. Okay. Tons of fun on that. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this agenda then. Do we have any new business or walk-on items?
Well, like you made the CEO change. I don't know if that was listed anywhere.
That is fair. I did that thing. Also, unfortunately, I think I do have one other walk-on item that I need to bring up. No, I don't. Okay, there was one item that was brought to my attention, which is a bit of a weird oddity. So in the current Capora, in the current Capora section 10.3.1 or 10.1.3.1.1, whatever it is, specifically says that the board of directors still has to maintain voting membership within Westmarch. This is a bit of an oddity. There it is. So it's under the election information, weirdly enough. So it says an election shall be held by the Prime Minister every January to elect the board of directors. Only voting members may hold a seat. But then here it says voting membership must be maintained in order to remain on the board. Unfortunately, one of our members currently does not have voting membership within the Kingdom of Westmarch. This is not in our bylaws because our bylaws don't care about game status. They only care about corporate status. So I believe it's currently Lilith, who I'm not seeing in the call. Their voting membership, at least according to the ORC, they've only gotten right now this 6 months. So yeah, they're basically they're not an active. They're not meeting the minimum number of attendance credits. 6 weekly meetings within 3 months. So in the last 3 months, they have attended twice. They are also missing their BOD credit though from April, which my notes say they attended in April. So 3 times. My plan was I was just going to reach out to them and ask them, hey, can you get your membership corrected in the by the next BOD meeting?
You mentioned that that's not reflected in the bylaws. Is 10.1.9 reflected in the bylaws?
Second. I've read the Quora a lot. I do not have the individual bullet points memorized. Any
Like,
member of the board
because
who
you had
misses
it
three
open.
meetings in a row. Okay. This is
That one also has a shall in it.
yes. Yeah, there is equivalent language, if I remember correctly, in our bylaws. But that is 3 board meetings within a row. And
Yeah.
as I mentioned, that was the thing. I was quickly grabbing so from last month's note, we do not have a Lilith. That's May. Going back to the previous month in April, Lilith was there. So they've only missed 1 consecutive board meeting. So 10.1.9 does not apply currently. So my plan was to just reach out to them and be like, hey, can you please get this corrected and get your voting membership realigned? Otherwise, we'll have to bring it back to the board because the way we would have to do this is we as the board vote to remove them,
Yeah,
which
actually, I
then
was saying
triggers a
like
whole
that's
thing.
not self-executing. So they would have to be removed/impeached actively.
Correct. Which there's a whole removal process for that. Basically, every other board member has to vote yes. So it's quite lengthy.
At least we have that rule, unlike AI BOD.
That's a different thing, yeah. Yeah, so we would have to do the board member may be removed with or without cause at a duly meeting by affirmative vote of unanimous vote of all remaining serving board members. So we would have to get 6 affirmative votes for that to happen. Yeah. So okay. I figured I would bring that to our attention. If anybody, are there any other board members, their thoughts on this current situation or how we should go about resolving it? Does anybody disagree with my proposed method?
I think that's a great way to do it. And let's plan, if they are not compliant, to take that vote next month. And if they are, then we're done.
It will,
Um,
Then it triggers an
vote-
election, which, well, pseudo election thing that happens, but yes, to
Voting
replace it.
status takes longer than 1 month to regain.
It's 6 sign-ins within 3 months.
They could do the digital sign-ins for like online gatherings and the in-person, or even just, I guess, attend every week.
Yep. Yeah, it's having a minimum of 6 weekly meetings within the last 3 months.
Which
They're at
means
3 or how
you can
many?
only get 4 weekly meetings
Looking at their
each
org,
month.
because it will be the 7th at that time, so it would go back to, they would already have 2
Okay.
credits.
So it's doable.
Yep. Plus, as mentioned, Delu is running like a Tuesday meeting. There are various online ways to attend it. It is achievable.
And then we would not need a new vote because we have Talon as our backup. Isn't that correct?
So the way this occurs,
The
because this is a fun,
BOD has to vote.
well, actually, the way this occurs, if there are vacancies, blah 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 blah. So should there be a vacancy on the board of directors, the governance committee, which is the CEO and CFO, shall use the board election process as outlined in Article 5 to present new potential members. The board shall elect from the presented nominees using a simple majority vote of the current board members, to then vote them in. So basically, and the way Article 5 is written for the board elections is the governance committee, which is, as I mentioned, the CEO, CFO, shall do this, which effectively tells them, hey, go do what the Kapora says to have an election, which in this case says go get the alternate, propose the alternate to the board, and the board then votes to accept the alternate, is how that would work. So it's not a true election. It's the board sees it as an election, but the Kingdom of Westmarch does not. They just say the alternate is the person. The fun thing about game rules versus corporate rules.
Election by fiat.
Yeah. Yeah. It basically tells them go follow our internal process, and our internal process says the Kapora, and the Kapora says provide the alternate. It's more or less what this whole thing shakes out to. Okay. Any other questions on this item? We have any other walk-on business? Anything else anybody wants to talk about or bring up? Okay. Well, now we get to go to the most important section of this meeting, which is determining the next meeting in July. So now everybody gets to go run off to their calendars and figure out what we're doing. Somebody play hold music.
We'll have to wait on if Sebastian's free, but what about just mid-month, July 15th? Any yays, any nays?
I'm valid any day. Just remind me.
Okay.
How about the rest of yous? We're gonna need more.
Could we move it 1 week later? Could we do the 22nd instead?
Sure.
That works better for me.
Now you're making me relook at all my
I think I'm
calendars
back
again.
to me.
Hey, if you think I don't have my day
Okay.
planner in front of me, y'all are crazy.
I have 2 phones.
I have a physical paper day planner because I am old school.
I got 2 phones.
It has stickers and everything.
Heck yeah.
Highlighters.
Yep, the 22nd works for me.
I may not be able to
I
be,
am
but
good.
don't worry about me.
Well, if there's another day that works for everybody, I mean, we might as well. This is only the second idea.
No, it's just I may be traveling that week. I don't know yet. I don't want to make everybody work around something that I'm not even sure is happening.
Hmm.
When is Gathering of Kingdoms this year?
It's the
Oh
16th
shit.
through the 19th.
Okay.
Oh damn. All right, so yeah, I
So
might
do
be
we want the
blanking it
BOD
out for that
meeting
one too.
before or after gathering?
Yeah. So I think that's
Yeah.
why they were suggesting the 22nd.
Elf, you had an issue with the 15th. You had something going on?
Well, that's
Travel.
Reckless's birthday is that week. We have a whole, and actually, I will. Unfortunately, I will not be going to gathering in person this year after all. But the meeting has been moved fully online. There will be no meetings taking place at the event anyway. So
I
Yeah.
don't think we have any events to plan around other than like people maybe attending something else, just not like Westmarch related. So we could push it down. We could always say the 29th.
I don't mind keeping it at the 22nd.
But
It's
others might also be
fair.
distracted.
Okay.
22 works for me.
Does
22 sounds
29?
good. Yeah, we could go 29. I'm just trying to think. We were the 24th. Yeah, I guess we are doing the last week here. Oh, wow, it's a 5-week month that month on Wednesdays.
yeah, the 22nd puts us at 4 weeks out from this meeting.
Yeah.
But I the 22nd or 29th works for me too. So
I don't think we have any particular requirements as long as it's every, I guess it
Yeah.
depends on how you define calendar month. You know?
Yeah, I believe it says once per month, which is
Hey, it's
amazing.
still within July, so
See, some people want things specific, but it's also quite nice to have things be just a little vague and flexible.
I think it's actually a Kapora thing about per month.
it's in the
Control
spirit
F
of the
month is a
rule.
bad idea.
I just controlled F month, okay? I'm just going to get down to section 10, which is where I'm really looking.
I lived my whole life vague and
Yeah.
flexible.
So in the Kapora, it says we should meet once per month.
It's once a month if we do the 29th. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I insist we must, but I feel like there's the least likelihood of people having stuff going on.
I feel like the 22nd or the 29th have just as likelihood of people randomly choosing stuff to go on. But yeah, sure.
Fair enough.
29, July 29 is what it sounds like is the loudest voice I am hearing
Okie dokie.
at 6:30. Yeah.
AM.
No.
No.
writing it down in pen. Gonna put a sticker on it.
Is
A
it
wild
PST or
dagger
PDT?
appears.
I'm just going to call it. There's a PT.
You know who wasn't here is Delu.
PT. It's Pacific time. There we go. Okay. There we go. I believe that is the end of our meeting. Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay, cool. I'm stopping the recording.